Hi, I'm Marc, and on this channel I talk about Brexit and UK politics. Rolls-Royce SMR, the British developer of the small modular reactor Rolls-Royce SMR, has made an urgent appeal to the British government to urgently implement support measures. The developer fears falling behind in the global race for the first commercial SMR. Nuclear energy is experiencing a resurgence in many countries amid discussions about energy security and the need to achieve net zero emissions by 2050. It should contribute to achieving these goals, and in addition to large power reactors, small modular reactors, so-called SMRs, could also play a role in the future. You heard Boris Johnson talk about this, for example. Demonstration plants are already in operation in Russia and China, and the first commercial SMR is expected to begin operation in the West towards the end of the decade. SMR developers in Canada and the USA in particular are supported by their governments with programs such as the Advanced Reactor Demonstration Program, the Gateway for Accelerated Innovation in Nuclear, or the Foundational Infrastructure for Responsible Use of Small Modular Reactor Technology, or Enabling Small Modular Reactors Program. The SMR will not only be built in the USA and Canada, but also exported to other countries. And this also involves orders and tens of thousands of jobs in local industry. According to the Nuclear Energy Agency, the NEA, there is currently a huge wave of innovation in SMRs and a real race to be the first commercial SMR on the market. The British SMR developer Rolls-Royce SMR is also feeling this international competition and the successes of its competitors. This means that many of the processes underway internationally are consolidating and moving forward, and that presents us with a challenge because we cannot continue to be credible in these processes until we have a project in the UK to show. That was said by Alan Woods, Director of Strategy and Business Development at Rolls-Royce SMR, who sees his company's current lead at risk. At a nuclear conference in Carlisle in UK, he said that. In his criticism, Woods alludes to the fact that Canada, for example, with the support of the federal government there and the province of Ontario, the first SMR BWRX-300 from GE Hitachi Nuclear Energy will soon be built at the existing Darlington nuclear site and will go into operation as early as 2029. In order to make progress with an SMR project and to be able to produce and sell it in series, you first need a lighthouse project that you can show. And according to Tufan Erginbilic, the new CEO of parent company Rolls-Royce, the SMR project needs government support so that customers have the confidence to place pre-orders for the reactors. In November 2021, the then British government under Boris Johnson announced 210 million British pounds in support for Rolls-Royce SMR. The spending is part of the £385 million Advanced Nuclear Fund announced by the UK government in 2020 as part of the UK government's 10-point plan for a green industrial revolution. The strategy to increase energy supply security presented in spring 22 also underlined the possible role of SMR. Both Woods and Erginbilic would also like to see stronger support from the new government under Prime Minister Rishi Sunak regarding a flagship project at the domestic SMR industry. While countries like Canada give preferential treatment to SMR manufacturers on the North American continent, this is not the case in the UK. With the Great British Nuclear, a new government agency began its work in Great Britain on July 18th in 2023. This definitely wants to promote the use of SMRs in Great Britain. GBN's first priority is to conduct a competitive process to select the best technologies for small nuclear reactors from around the world. That was written by GNB, launching this competition on the first day of its activity. And the first selection will take place in autumn this year. And the government will co-finance the selected technologies during their development and also work with the winners on the local agreements and the location of the local. The aim is for a final investment decision to be made for 2 new building projects in the next legislative period, that's from 25 to 29. According to the Nuclear Advanced Manufacturing Research Center, development companies act as licensees for the construction of new nuclear power plants within the framework of the British regulatory system. They are responsible for financing and ensuring planning and official approval for new power plants. And the development companies are rooted in the regions in which they are active. The Welsh, I call CE because I can't speak Welsh, is one of such development companies. And CE was established to advance potential new projects and create economic opportunities for Northwest Wales. That was written by the Welsh government about the wholly owned development company. Another development company is Solway Community Power Company from Copeland in Cumbria. It was founded to achieve lasting positive socio-economic impact for the region and the country as a whole, and excellent returns for investors. With a first order of small modular reactors from Rolls-Royce, they will enable the plants to become operational by 2032, bringing significant and lasting benefits to the people of Cumbria, as the company wrote. The generation of large amounts of clean and reliable electricity in the region offers the opportunity to establish energy-intensive industries and to investigate other projects such as regional heat and steam use. And they are convinced that this model can be transferred to other communities across the country. What was already known months in advance was confirmed as well. The domestic SMR developer Rolls-Royce SMR should not be given preferential treatment compared to other countries. And this led to criticism in the daily newspaper The Telegraph in March 2023. Insiders fear that competitive tendering efforts could result in Rolls-Royce losing a government contract, despite already investing £210 million of taxpayers' money in the company's efforts to build small modular reactors. The government is now understood to be preparing to host a beauty parade of proposals for the next generation of nuclear power plants from around the world, which could ultimately result in contracts being awarded to other companies. At the launch of the competition, the UK's Energy Secretary at the time, Grant Shapps, also announced grants of up to £157 million, for example, to accelerate the development of nuclear companies in the UK, but also to support new designs or to develop and build a new advanced modular reactor. While developers of advanced SMRs such as Ultra Safe Nuclear Corporation UK or Moltex Flex, with a parent company in North America, are mentioned by name, Rolls-Royce does not appear as a developer of a conventional pressurized water SMR. Since the start of GBN had already been delayed somewhat and a competition decision was only feared at the beginning of 2024, this gave Woods the reason to call on the British government to hurry up so that the competition winners can be determined as soon as possible and Rolls-Royce SMR can hopefully launch its flagship project as soon as possible and can start and secure further investor funds. That's why we are making it clear to the government that speed is important, said Woods. And he said that, as I said, at the nuclear conference in Carlisle. In order to offer the Rolls-Royce SMR company planning security, the competition must be carried out as quickly as possible and must not be cancelled by the British government after a few months, as was the case in 2017. And if you want to know more, the next video is right in the end screen. I'll see you there. I'll be back.